One. Good Tuesday morning, everyone. I'm Kelly Knapp,
I'm Lee Barrels.
And I'm
and
Rayford Brown.
Oh, it's so good to hear you.
yes,
Oh, thank you.
I think a lot of people will be very happy to hear Rayford's voice this morning.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we've had
Everywhere
them
I
all fooled. It's
everywhere I
just
go,
been
people are asking about you.
it's been so fun to have them so fooled. They all think that I'm actually in a hospital. So anyway, the weather down here in Pontiac is great today.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Okay. All right.
You keep on with that.
Well, I'm still in Greenville. I'm not in Greenville, in New Bern. I keep getting that
I
confused.
know.
Yeah.
You
I'm
had me
still in New Bern,
confused.
and a great place here in New Bern. And I wish I was on the water where I could at least throw a fishing pole out there or something.
I'm sure.
But it's beautiful. Sun's up and looking nice and clean and clear out there.
hmm
And I don't have a clue what the temperature is because I have not been outside since a week ago Monday,
It's 45.
and it's chilly.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
nippy.
real snippy yesterday.
Yeah,
Well, it'll warm up when I get back, I'm sure. But how are you ladies doing?
we're doing good.
We're doing good now that we hear your voice.
hmm
Well,
Yep.
I appreciate that. Well, I've been watching a lot of news and listening to a lot of stuff and reading a lot of stuff, and it's things are typical. There's not a whole lot of difference than when I left.
Nope.
Nobody knew what was going on when I left. Nobody seems to know what's going on now. But politics certainly leads the way.
hmm
Of
And
course it does.
the folks around the hospital here at Carolina East, they are like, "Really? You watch this stuff?" I said, "Yeah, don't you?" Well, no. Did you vote? Well, no. I said, "Then you don't have any reason to complain about stuff, do you?"
That's right.
A lot of them did vote, of course. A lot of them are traveling. They may live in another district, for instance, and they work here. The vast majority of the people I bet at Carolina East are homegrown. They're from right here
hmm
in New Bern, grew up here or neighboring Pamlico County or wherever. That's always good. They're retaining their people. It's a wonderful thing that they're doing, and they've got the expertise here to help a lot of people out in a lot of different ways, and I appreciate it.
Well, I think everybody I've talked to and things I've heard just in general, even prior to your incident, is you're in personally. There are a lot of people say if there's a heart issue, you're in the best place in the eastern North Carolina to be.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I certainly feel that way,
Yeah.
and never knew I had a heart issue because I didn't even know I had a heart till this stuff came along.
Oh, that's not
Well,
true.
I knew you had the heart. You didn't
We
like
knew
people knowing
that.
about it, but I knew you did, and I'm glad it's fixed now. So,
Well, it's fixed. It's recovering. There's a lot of pain
hmm
involved in the recovery. And I would, for folks who do not know, who haven't been listening, a quadruple bypass ain't fun. Because here's the process: you open up the chest. That means you take a saw and you cut down from one end at the top end all the way down to the other end. You spread it apart. You go in and you fix the four, in this case, quadruple. That means four. Fix the arteries after you pull a vein out of the leg and use the vein to bypass those arteries because those arteries had issues. So amazing that they can do stuff like that. Amazing who would have even thunk of doing something like that.
hmm
But then they get all that healed up, and the hardest part, not the bypass stuff itself, is the chest having to heal up. That's an intense pain.
yeah,
I'll tell you that right now, and that takes a period of time to heal, and a long period of time to heal. So there's no, I won't be able to run the 100-yard dash anymore. I won't be playing tennis. Of course, I never did either before.
hmm
But things like that ain't going to happen for a while. But we'll see. It'll all get more better.
yes, it will.
I'll
Yes,
tell
it
you.
will. You get
Yeah,
through that healing process and you're going to be great. You're going to be a new man.
yeah. Well, I strongly suggest people do not wait. If you've got issues, if there are things out there that are bugging you, don't wait too long. Instead of a quadruple, it could have been a one ruple or whatever.
Yeah.
It could have been just a stent to be placed in, which I had 24 years ago. But that wore out. So they had to fix that one and three more.
Isn't it
So
amazing the science of medicine these days compared to so many years ago? I mean,
Yeah.
they can take the heart right out of your body and replace veins and then put your heart back in and it start it right back up again. It's just amazing.
And to do all this stuff, they actually have to stop your heart.
Mhm.
Right.
They stop your heart. They bypass your heart. They go back in. I'm gonna try to get my doctor to come on the air after I get out of here one day. And she is absolutely fantabulous.
Good.
Yeah, she's Dr. Chen. She's and everybody here says she's one of the top cardiologists in the region. So I'm gonna try to get her, see if I can convince her to come on the air one morning. She comes in early in the morning to do her rounds. Go figure. And then she's busy all day long.
Yeah.
These guys who specialize in stuff like this and who are good are going to be busy. Sure wish we could get one of these centers in Jacksonville, but there are not so many cardiologists to go around.
Hmm.
So that's one of the big deals, one of the big problems. Now, politics. I'm not going to talk about it. It's just so much. I don't even know what the
Wait till
score is.
tomorrow. Wait till
Yeah,
tomorrow.
the
2
scores between
announcements today.
day-to-day scores. And then tonight, former President Donald Trump, he's 50-50 as to whether he will actually say, oh, I just been stringing y'all along for a while. I'm not going to run. I'm going to throw my support to somebody, whoever I think is going to be the better person in the Republican Party, or I'm just going to be the braggart and the show-all, show-me guy that I've always been, and I'm just going to throw my hat in the ring just to stir up stuff, and therefore I'll guarantee to get a Democrat elected. Really?
Right.
That's my take on it.
Well,
And I'm an old curmudgeon.
on his social media, Truth Social, he posted about 4 hours ago. Hopefully, today will turn out to be one of the most important days in the history of our country.
Oh
Of
Lord.
course, that could mean several things. That could mean, oh, we took over the House by supermajority.
Yeah.
We did not the Senate, or Donald Trump. He's just throwing those teasers out there.
Much ado about nothing, in other words.
Right.
Possibility. But there's other news out there going on, more tragic and senseless acts of violence.
Yes.
This time it's on the campus of the University of South Dakota. One of the 4 students killed there, 2 were 21, 2 were 20. All of them were friends. The 2 of them were related, I think, had a family tie. Almost no information has been released, including how they died. Crime of passion, the mayor said. Burglary gone wrong, possible
Wow.
motives. But that's all they're saying. And I just checked before we got on the air this morning. That's the only thing they're saying. Really? Yesterday, University of Virginia,
Yep.
Yes.
one man has been taken into custody and charged with 3 counts of second-degree murder. He's accused of killing 3 victims, all members of the UVA football team. The suspected shooter was apprehended, and he is in custody. But was it like it was in South Dakota? Just like it was there, very little has been released, including the motive. The killer's dad told police that he had emotional issues and was a former member of the football team.
Hmm.
Right.
We know more about 53-year-old Matthew McConaughey posing nude with a pickle for National Pickle Day yesterday
What?
than
I
we
missed
know
it.
about the 2 grisly murder scenes. And
Well,
presumably more people care about that kind of non-news crap. Almost 7 million followers loved the picture.
I need to check this picture out.
Yeah.
Let me-
How did
Nothing
I
to
miss
be
this one?
nothing to be seen there. Move on.
I
But
mean,
seriously,
we're
there's
looking it up.
more talk about it. 7 million followers, all up in the air. As you can imagine, women, primary source of the garbage that's being put out there in this particular case. They love Kevin, for heaven's sakes, and his pickles, whatever. All 6 victims killed during the Dallas air show over the weekend when 2 historical World War II aircraft collided in midair were identified on Monday. As investigators said, it was still too early to tell what caused the incident. Actually, there is so much wreckage, debris scattered. It's a mess out there. It's going to be a problem. The 2 aircraft collided in midair on Monday.
I mean,
Wow.
it's like y'all didn't see each other.
Well, they're flying along, and sometimes it's hard to see. You got a lot of blind spots. That's the reason when I'm flying in small planes, I'm looking out any direction, and I'm in contact with the pilot. Hey, say, you see that one over there?
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah, I got it. I said, well, good, just to make sure. The commemorative Air Force confirmed the names of the B-17 Flying Fortress and P-63 King Cobra flight crews killed in the collision at the Wings over Dallas World War II Air Show on Saturday in Dallas. The investigation is also underway. We understand that will take a period of time, probably as much as a year, to find the cause of that fatal crash. I don't know about you, but that World War II ended before I was born. I'm not sure that planes from that era are the greatest things in the world to be up there flying around in. There's a thing called metal fatigue. When metal fatigue takes over, things get worn out. Yes, it might be testing fine when you fly at this time, but it's right on the verge of breaking. I do not know what caused the crash, but at some point in time, we've got to decide what's the oldest planes that we're going to put up in the air, even at air shows. On display on the ground, that's one thing. Flying around these days, I'm not so sure. I know pilots out there who love them, and I've been in them. I loved it too, but I'm over it. So I don't know.
We were talking about that yesterday, the two planes colliding, and I was asking Kelly, does she feel comfortable going to air shows? Because that's one reason why I won't go to an air show. I'm so scared that somebody's going to crash.
They have them all the time. Not all the
Yes.
time, but they have them on a regular basis.
Look at the
So,
one that crashed into a stand of spectators that one
See,
year.
that right there is why I don't.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
I don't go to
scares
that
me.
stuff.
Can you run fast enough if you see it's coming for you?
All right.
I don't think so.
Ladies, I'm going to take my leave. Y'all have a
Okay.
good rest of your show.
All right, we have Commissioner Bright calling in at 7:25, so you might want to listen.
Tell Jack I said, hey,
Will do.
chat with you later.
See you
All right,
later.
take care.
Bye. Well, it's good to hear from Rayford. We've been talking to him, but I mean, it's still
Yes.
good to actually hear his voice.
Yes, he
So,
sounds
yeah,
good.
he does. He
I
sounds
know
good.
he's in pain,
Yeah.
which
He's going
is
to go take a nap.
yes,
Which can't blame him
yes.
on that. But yeah, I mean, I guess we just all wait to see what news comes out politically today. The Republicans are poised to take over the House. They only need one vote, so we'll see what
it's a
happens.
super majority too.
Yeah,
So we'll see.
we'll see what happens. Yeah,
The sad thing about it is, it's just going to be another 2 years of nothing getting done.
I agree with that statement.
Right.
Yeah. And posturing for shoring up for the presidential election in 2 years. Yeah,
Yes.
I agree with you 100%. And it's a crying shame.
Well,
so
I think Pence is supposed to make his announcement at 9:00 tonight. I believe that's what I heard this morning. He's going to be on Fox News.
I didn't even know he was considering running.
Right. Yeah, he is. I mean, the Republican Party is desperate to find somebody that's going to lead the country without controversy. So it'll be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see what Donald Trump does too. Because those two,
Well, between
the fight.
Trump and DeSantis are just that's just, I think they're going to take away from whatever because they're very similar personalities.
Right.
So I don't know that I think, and I like Pence, but I don't know that I think Pence is a strong enough candidate. Maybe he is. I guess we'll see.
Well, here's my problem. Who do we have out there that would
We have
be a
nobody
strong
that's
candidate?
well, I know who I like, but we have a lot of strong candidates that have not expressed any kind of interest. So I think we have a lot of strong Republicans out there. I personally think some of them don't want to go against Trump because they don't want the attacks.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
there's going
that's
to
a
be
lot of it. Yeah,
attacks. I
'cause they're
mean,
gonna
look how
be-
he's
yeah.
attacking DeSantis already, calling him fat and frumpy.
That's what I'm
and
saying. Like, and that to me, see, that's childish.
It is.
If I have no desire to vote for a candidate that can't resort to and that's childish name calling. So,
Well, I don't want to see that in a leader of the country.
it's not what a leader of one of the greatest nations in the world should be doing. once again, it's childish.
It is. It is. And in what I've seen over the years when Trump was president, his mindless attacks on
Mhm.
people, especially during the primaries when the debates, there's 16 of them up there, and he's just calling them all out. I think that we've seen a lot of the nation follow suit.
Mhm.
They see now the then president doing it. So you see people now taking to social media doing
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah.
We've lost a respect for each other in this country.
I
There
agree
is,
with that.
it's just like I've said over and over again, there is no middle ground anymore. And there's just so much hate. It's ridiculous.
I mean, once again, I just think I don't know. So,
No, we've got to get back to showing respect. And even though you may not like
mhm.
who the president is now, it's your personal, opinion, but you still have to respect the office
Mhm.
because it is the president. So it's just really sad. I just don't get where we're heading in this nation. We need a lot of healing. We need time to heal. We need time to get back together. We need time for both sides to start working together instead of against each other. So I don't know. Well, today's going to be interesting. I guarantee you, if Pence comes out at 9 o'clock, Trump will come out at 7 o'clock because he wants to be first. So it's going to be interesting to see who does what first.
Oh my. Yeah. So I guess we'll see. I think, personally, I think if Trump is going to run, he may leak something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah.
Yes. Well, they're going to continue to go after him
Mhm.
regardless.
I agree with that. Yeah. So I guess we'll see.
So if he was to say he was to announce he was running,
Hmm.
all right, we got to get through the nasty primary because it's going to be nasty.
Yeah.
And if he was to win the primary and then win his presidency, it's another 4 years of one party going after this party, the
Hmm.
fights. Oh my gosh, we'll never get anything done in this country.
No.
Never, never, never. So anyway, you want to go ahead and jump on weather because we'll have
Yeah.
Commissioner Bright calling shortly.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a break. We're live in local real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Lee and I are over here making plans for February 10th, 2023.
Girls' Night at the movies.
Yeah, Candy Thompson, you're in there with us. So,
Oh, yes.
if
Okay.
anybody wants to know what we're talking about, you can just go online and punch in what movies come out February 10th, 2023. And if you're a female, you can join us.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. weather.
Okay. Time for the marine forecast. The marine forecast is brought to you by Tideline Marine. Tideline is offering 15% off all bagel and tackle, bait and tackle for veterans and active duty military through November 15th. So today's the last day for that special. In addition to the end of this month, all gift shop lamps are 50% off and other gift shop items are 20% off. Some other specials this month include a $10 gift card with any tackle package over $50. Need a new reel? Be sure to enter into the Florida Fishing Reel giveaway. To see all specials going on this month, stop by Tideline Marine, 159 Old Bridge Street on the banks of the New River. Today, east winds 15 to 20 knots, becoming southeast with gusts up to 25 knots late. Seas 3 to 5 feet, except 2 to 4 feet near shore. Dominant period 6 seconds. Adjacent sounds and rivers choppy. Tonight, south winds 15 to 20 knots with gusts up to 25 knots, becoming southwest after midnight. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Dominant period 5 seconds. Wednesday, northwest winds 15 to 20 knots with gusts up to 25 knots, diminishing 10 to 15 knots in the afternoon. Seas 3 to 5 feet. Dominant period 6 seconds. And Thursday, northwest winds 15 to 20 knots with gusts up to 25 knots, diminishing 10 to 15 knots in the afternoon. Seas 2 to 4 feet.
Today, according to this, we have an 80% chance of showers and thunderstorms. So it looks like it's going to rain. It wasn't doing anything when I came in this morning.
I think it's this
Yeah.
afternoon.
High of 68 tonight, rain before 10, and then just a chance between 10 and 4 a.m. Low of 52. Tomorrow, partly sunny, high of 61, gusty. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, low of 41. And on Thursday, mostly sunny, a high of 52 and still gusty. And we have a caller. Good morning, caller. Who's this?
Good morning. This is Jack Bright from the Onslow County Board of Commissioners.
Well, good morning, Chairman. How are you?
I'm doing good. Kelly, how are you doing? And Lee, how are you doing? And Rayford, I know you're listening. I heard him on radio earlier, and he sounded great.
Yes,
sounds
he
great.
did. And he said to tell you hello, which I'm sure you heard.
Yeah, how about that? Looking forward to him recovering and getting back into what he dearly, dearly loves, is his radio show and
Yes.
the people that call in.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So, what's going on in the county?
Well, we had some tragic news over the weekend as far as current events. Over the weekend, we had 8 overdoses, and only 4 of those people that had the overdose survived. 4 perished. And right now, we're scrambling to, or the sheriff's office is scrambling to find out, what, if any, thing would be the common denominator in that, and find out maybe what type of a substance that was abused and caused the death, and maybe try to narrow down the location to see if there's anything correlating with drugs and the location. It's just terrible that we have such situations like that pop up.
That is tragic. 8 in one weekend. That's just horrible.
Yeah, it's a shame. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm betting fentanyl played a part in most of that.
Well, that's been a lot of conversation, but we don't know yet. Exactly what the substance was that was used to do overdose with. We don't know if it was off the street. That's why it's so important for people to understand and know that the stuff that's being pushed out here on the street, there's no control factor on it at all. You may get a batch that's safe, and you may get a batch that's not safe. And when that happens, the person that's consuming it has to pay the cost.
Absolutely. Well, that's just tragic. 4 deaths.
Yeah, four of them, from what I understand, was able to be brought back with Narcan, and 4 of them was not able to be brought back. And I guess each one of those situations and each one of those cases, Narcan was administered to try to get them back. But well, we only had 4 out of 8 that was survived. That's really, the numbers is surely not looking good.
No, it's not. It's not. And you know, I hate to hear that. I hate, because it goes to show you that we do have a drug problem here in Onslow County, and I know
Yes, absolutely.
our law enforcement agencies are working hard to try to, you know, ease it. So it's just really sad. So
Absolutely.
somewhere in the next couple of days, we're all going to be hearing about a friend or a friend of a friend that lost someone, and it's just tragic.
Yes. Well, it's not been a couple of weeks ago. The sheriff's department or sheriff's office rather made some arrests and seized a great large amount of fentanyl
Right.
and some other drugs and money and paraphernalia. And it just seems like we're the focal point of the trafficking of drugs and narcotics coming in, illegal substances coming into the county.
Well,
And
yeah, we're right in the middle between 2 big ports, so Wilmington and then up there Beaufort. So you know, it just makes me wonder if a lot of it's not coming in by boat.
well, that's a good possibility, and everybody's got their own theory about it. But I'm sure sheriff's office and the police department and all the other agencies are working to trying to stop and curb this. Is no telling what they don't actually get to seize and stop from coming into the borders of the county and the city.
Absolutely.
But
Well, that's just such tragic news to hear. So give us
Yeah,
some good news. What's going on in the county? What's on the agenda?
well, I wanted to talk a little bit about the workshop we had last Thursday, the 10th. And I want people to know that our citizens to know that we don't sit idle. We try to plan for the future, and we have to look down the road. We can't just focus on what's going on today. We have to plan for the future, and we have to plan for infrastructure and that sort of thing. And what we did on the 10th is we gave Ms. Griffin, our county manager, direction on what the commissioners thought we should be focused on and which direction we need to go on certain projects. And nothing that we did it's not set in stone. There's some things that we got to have additional information on to move forward with. But one thing that we talked about was the fire station at Bear Creek. It's just too small, and the building's been there for decades and decades, and it's got some deterioration. And the facilities, when it was built, was adequate then, but the facilities is not adequate now, and it doesn't serve the community like it should. So we're probably going to have to replace that fire station in Bear Creek with a new station, and we already have talks going on with the school system at Sand Ridge Elementary, because they have a lot of land there to actually relocate the station without having to change the fire district, because if we change the fire district, we jeopardize the fire insurance for the people that live in that district. So we're trying to balance that and stay within that, and also stay within the the confines of the area.
Yeah, I was just going to ask about that. And building a new fire station, in one that's bigger, more efficient, that should help the insurance rates for the residents around that area.
Well, when the Bear Creek Fire Station, when it was being manned totally by the volunteers and a couple paid county staff, they missed a few calls, and all the volunteer fire departments and all the fire departments are regulated by the North Carolina Department of Insurance, and they've got certain standards and rules. And if you don't abide abide by those standards, then you lose your certification. So we were at the point with the volunteer fire station at Bear Creek of losing that station. The board of directors of the Bear Creek Volunteer Fire Department decided to partner with Onslow County and turn that property and the station and all the equipment over to the county to create the Onslow County Fire Department and keep the people from going into the ISO rating of 10.
Right.
And if they had went to that, it would have cost the citizens in that fire district, and that was several years ago. If it had went to an ISO 10 rating, it would have cost the citizens that lived there on their insurance premiums, it would have cost them $4 million more a year to have coverage. So we, with the board of directors for Bear Creek and the county board of commissioners, we consolidated the two agencies, and they turned over all the assets to Onslow County, and we worked out an arrangement with them, and it ended up saving the citizens in Bear Creek over $4 million in insurance premiums, which was a big savings for them. And we still maintaining actually the ISO rating has been lowered to a lower rating now, and I think they're getting even a bigger break on their insurance. A lot of those homes down there are on the water,
Right.
and in the area where is prone for hurricanes and even nor'easters that cause damage. So it was a big plus for the county, and it was a big plus for the citizens in Bear Creek and that Bear Creek Fire District.
Well, that's absolutely good news for the residents of Hubert.
Another thing that we covered is having the stations for the EMS trucks. Right now, in 3 or 4 of the locations for the rescue squad trucks, we're having to keep them in strategic locations for response. And they're having to set out in the open in a parking lot somewhere, and the engine runs, and they have to keep warm. They have to keep cool in the summer, and we needed to have satellite stations for the EMS vehicles and ambulances. So we have worked out an arrangement to have substations for the EMS vehicles, and I think we're going to partner with some of the volunteer fire departments to do that. So hopefully that'll work out, and we can save the EMS trucks. So those trucks are thousands and thousands of dollars to replace, and not only that, the engines are just worn out, but they don't have any miles on them from idling so much a lot of times. So that was the reason for moving in that direction. The Parks and Recreation building itself that's at Onslow Pines Park, that building is old. It don't have enough room in it to take care of all the things that the Parks and Recreation Department has. That's the central location for Parks and Recreation building to softball leagues, baseball leagues, all the things that happen at the parks, and all the rentals for the parks goes through that building. But we can't expand the building out there or redo the building because the soil out there will not allow for wastewater system. So we're thinking about putting the building itself in Burton Park. We have plenty of land, and Burton Park has water and sewer, so we don't have to worry about septic systems there. But we got to do some soil tests and all that before we move forward with that building. But that building could be used for different things. We're not talking about baseball field or softball fields or anything outside. We're talking about just the building itself as a central location for Parks and Recreation to operate out of. And it would be close to the government center, so it'd be easier for management to coordinate efforts with the management of Parks and Recreation. So that's something that we really looked at, and we're getting some design work, and also looking at the soil out there to see if it allow us to build such a building out there.
All right. How about the senior services?
The senior services building, and that was the next thing I was going to talk about. We have over at the current location, we had a lot of mold and mildew and moisture from the HVAC system that it was just too expensive to repair, and we were concerned. You know, it's one thing if you don't know about something and something happens health-wise, that's one thing. But if you know about a situation and you don't do something about it, then you get into a situation of liability. So we were looking at the building and how much it's costing a year to maintain it, and all the damage that's happening from the moisture and mildew and the walls. And we decided that we had some money come in from the American Recovery Act money that we were able to use for that. So we're looking at right now we're looking at a freestanding building also in Burton Park, which is just around the corner from where the current location is on that. And that's about a $6 million project with 18,000 square feet of building. And we'll be able to build that building and the parking lot and all the facilities for the seniors at no cost for the local taxpayers on that building.
Yay, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that is.
And also, you know, senior services, they do exercise classes. They do. I have bingo in there. They have cooking classes. There's a lot of things that they go on field trips. They have a charter bus that comes in and takes them to all over the country on field trips, and the seniors absolutely love it. So we need a place for our seniors. Our seniors are getting that population is growing and growing because people just literally live longer. So we're looking at that new building and getting them out of that building. We've moved the USDA, we moved Cooperative Extension and Soil and Water out of that building already. They've located in the county government complex, and also the senior services. We've moved a lot of those folks out already, and we have very, very limited stuff going on at the senior services section. And the part that was the most damaging, we're going to block that off until we can get the whole senior services department out of there and get them into the government center until we can get the new building built, which will be, we have bid process, and we have to make sure with the funding that we can do a freestanding building from the federal government. Originally, they said that we could only attach it and have it as an add-on, but there's been some changes and relaxed rules on that, so we're exploring that now, and that's something that staff and management is looking into to make sure that happens. Also, over there at the Commons, we're out towards your way there, Kelly, the Emergency Operations Center is just too small. And when it was built, it was built to house what was currently going on with the hurricanes and situations. But since then, we have a lot of gender mixes that come over to that building now, and there's just not enough facilities for showers, and sometimes they have to stay, several days over there. So some of the staff basically lived over there for several days during hurricane events. So the spot just was not big enough for that, and that we're looking at maybe an $11 million project there, and that was also funded. It's also funded by the American Recovery Act money, which is no local dollars at all for there. So that would be no cost to the taxpayers, and we actually have negotiated with the city and and bought the fire station that was there from the city, because the city is going to relocate to a better location and a bigger station. And we negotiated with them for the land. We actually have already secured the land. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was 8 acres of land there and the fire station. And the city was generous enough to allow us to purchase that for $1 million. And the appraised value is way, way more than that.
Mm-hmm.
If you know about land and the commons out there, that land is not cheap. It is extremely expensive. So we were able to work that arrangement with the city of Jacksonville, and that building was actually hooked on to the emergency operations center. So we'll use that to house the EMS trucks out that way. And when we get the expansion done on the EOC, it would allow us to have more partners and more people that we need to keep in communication with during a hurricane or disastrous type event. And you know how important communications is. Without communications, you just are dead in the water. You just can't function.
That's right.
Without communicating with the different partners that we have. I can't even name them all, but all the emergency operations and all the law enforcement agencies in the county will have someone there, or be invited to have someone there to bring back information to their different jurisdictional locations. The other thing that we will be talking about this coming Monday is the airport expansion for the runway. They received a $10 million, right at a $10 million grant. And then we got an additional $2 million from the state. And I think the county, through the Airport Enterprise Fund, will have to contribute $1 million. But when you expand the runway, you allow for heavier planes to come in. You allow for the planes that do come in to have more fuel on board, so they can fly at further distances, so you won't have to have layovers at different spots. I think they're planning on, right now, what is in the works is a straight flight from Albert Ellis to Dallas, Texas.
Wow.
So, and of course, Washington, D.C. So if that happens, that would just draw more folks to the airport. And the airport is a multiple $1 million operation for Onslow County. And that was the reason for the expansion. And we have Chris White, that's the director out there, and he's always looking for grants. And just about all of this money that's we use to expand the airport is through grants, and very, very little of local enterprise money. But there again, the airport is enterprise funded, and it's self-sustaining. There's no local tax dollars that go to the airport whatsoever. So that's a big plus for us, for Onslow County.
Well, it
Now,
sounds like the county's really doing great things right now, and we really appreciate all you commissioners for the job that you do in leading the county.
Well, I thank you for that. Starting in April of next year, this was one of the things. Well, we did we had like a 5-hour workshop on Thursday, and there was a lot of things. The certification of the health director. We had to do that because the health director works under accreditation, and there's certain things that we have to maintain accreditation standards. But the state of North Carolina State Division Health Services has come down, and we already have a no smoking, no tobacco use policy. I mean, it's already in place and been in place for some time now. But they come down with some new rules that's effective. It wasn't going to be effective December of this year, but now it's moved to, and this is all counties, not just Onslow. They're saying now, as of April of next year, all county departments that receive Medicaid reimbursement has got to be totally tobacco free. That you can't even use it on the campus. You know, the current rule says that you can use tobacco if you're 50 feet away from the building on campus. But now saying that you can't use it at all, not even on the campus. It don't matter if it's 2,000 acres, you still can't use it. Even if 2,000 acres of parking lot, you still can't use a tobacco product. But that will come into play April of next year, and the departments that we're looking at is the government center where administration is, and because we have environmental health there, that makes it environmental health receives Medicaid reimbursement because it's a branch of the health department. And of course, the health department on College Street does, and the senior services center also receives Medicaid reimbursement. So those departments will be off limits totally for tobacco use. And I don't use tobacco, and I have in years past, I have, but it's going to be hard for some of these folks to not be able to dip, chew, or smoke in those certain areas, and that'll be coming about in April of next year. So if folks go to those departments and they see totally tobacco-free campus and tobacco-free buildings and vehicles, public needs to know that they would be in violation of the state health rule.
Right. Well, maybe, Jack, maybe it's going to help a lot of people quit that've been wanting to quit. So let's just hope so. But anyway, we're up against a hard break right now.
Big hard
But
break.
we're so glad you called and caught it and caught us up to date. And we welcome you to call back anytime and let us know what's going on in the county. But great job.
Yes.
Well, thank you for having me, and give Rayford my best if he's not listening. But I'm looking for him to be coming home
Yes,
as
sir,
soon
we
as
are
he
too.
can.
All right.
And you folks have a great day.
Thank
All right,
you.
you too. Thank you.
Thanks.
All
Bye.
Bye now.
All right, we're going to take a pretty long break. Live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. All right, and we are back. And thanks everyone for being so patient with that commercial break.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Well, it was more important at the time to listen to what Commissioner Bright had to
yes.
say.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Yes.
we kind of pushed all the commercials together, which it's good.
It is good. And I wanted to bring up something real quick for those that may not know, based on something he said. And I'm talking about Narcan. I want everyone to understand that Narcan only reverses overdoses that are caused by opioids. So let's be clear, it doesn't work on everything. It doesn't work
Right.
on a cocaine overdose. It doesn't work on an alcohol overdose. It doesn't work on any kind of benzodiazepine overdose. It only works on opioids. So if someone is overdosing on cocaine and you give them Narcan, it is absolutely not going to help them. But the other thing is too, um, depending on the level of, opioid and or fentanyl in your system, the dose of Narcan given someone initially may not be enough. I've had known people, clients and individuals in the community that have had to be Narcan 5, 6, even one person 7 times. So just understand it. You can come out of, you can Narcan, use it, come out of it, but if you don't get treatment, you're going to go right back into it at times. So just want to educate people on that Narcan doesn't work for all substances.
That's true.
And I
Very
think a lot
true.
of people don't know that.
It just dismays
Mhm.
me to hear that we've got such an issue here in Onslow County. I mean, 8 people in one weekend, 4 of them died.
Mhm.
That's just sad.
It'd be interesting to see if all the drugs were bought from the same individual.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, it's top of the hour. Let's do our 60-second Fox News break. We'll be right back. Live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. And we are back, top of the hour. Oh, now I heard that echo. I had to make sure. We did not want any repeats of yesterday.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yesterday's done and over with,
So, Lee, I know you wanted to talk about the Wreath Across America, and I had asked
Yes.
you about that the other day. My
Yes.
daughter has already asked me twice now, so we can
Yes.
get some wreaths for my father-in-law
Okay.
and mother-in-law. So,
Yes, definitely. I know there's not a lot been said about it this year, but National Wreath Across America Day is December 17th, 2022. So all the cemeteries, there's 3,400 cemeteries that participate in this program. So we should be having our program on December 17th also here in Onslow County. And the whole purpose of the Wreaths Across America is to remember our fallen U.S. veterans, honor those who serve, and teach your children, everyone's children, the value of freedom. I'm going to on our show page, and I'll also do it on my personal page, and I'm sure people will share it. We're going to put an order form on there for you. Now, to order through the local Vietnam Veterans Memorial Association is the one that's collecting the funds for this and taking orders for the wreaths. Unfortunately, the cutoff date is November 20th. So,
I just-
to do this form locally, you'll need to have it done and in the mail so they can receive it by then. And I'll put all this information on the website. If for some reason you can't get it done, you can go to the national website, which is www.wreathsacrossamerica.org, and they've got a place that you can order it there. And I'll even post the local ID number for you. And something new that they're doing this year, for an additional $2, they will send out, you can purchase a wreath in honor of a specific name, and they will send that family a card from the National Wreaths Across America showing that a wreath was placed on your loved one's grave and who did it. So it's, I think it's pretty cool what they're doing this year. But
You
as
mean
far
here
as,
locally?
yeah, so like say if you want it on this order form, if you
Mhm.
want to like say you're buying, say I want to buy a wreath for Robin's parents,
Mhm.
and I, for an additional $2, I can say in honor of, and then the Wreath Association will send a card to Robin and you saying, Lee purchased a wreath on behalf of your father and mother, in-law, Robin's mother and father. And so you will get notification that somebody actually bought a wreath for that grave,
Okay,
which
well,
is
we'll
super.
be buying the wreaths for the graves and
Yes.
putting them on there. So,
Yes.
okay. I just want to make sure.
Right. As far as I don't know what's been planned for December 17th, what kind of service or whatever.
Well, who do we talk to find out?
Well, I'll make contact with my source today and ask her about it. But
Mhm.
I'll go ahead and post all this on our page for people. And if you need it like sent to you in a form that you can
Mhm.
print and a PDF form, just private message the page and I'll send it to you that way too.
Yeah.
So, we'll make sure that we honor our veterans, and this is a big deal for Onslow County every December. So just go ahead and get your money ready.
Yeah, I've got
Let's
my
cover
ready.
those
My daughter has
graves.
been asking me, so
Yes.
we want to go ahead and get the ones ordered for Robin's dad.
Right. Well, I've
but-
been trying to get local people on the show
Mhm.
about it. I've been trying for 2-3 months, but they've just had so many issues with days and getting here and stuff. So I finally just asked for the form and I said I'd talk about it on the radio. Another thing, the Legacy Theater Company, in case you don't know, right over there in Winchester Road, right at the corner of Bryn Mawr and Winchester Road,
Mhm.
is having an Oh Holy Night concert series this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, November 17th through the 20th. It's going to be an evening of carols, worship, and the joy of the season. Tickets are available by going to www.legacytheatercompany.org. And this is a local theater that we have here in Onslow County. A lot of our friends we know sing with it
Mhm.
and do plays, et cetera, et cetera. So if you want to hear some good Christmas music and, like I said, a night of fellowship and Christmas caroling, go ahead and check it out. And I'll put that on our page too.
Well, also to remind folks, the Jacksonville Christmas Parade is this Saturday
That's
morning.
right.
So get out there early. It gets very crowded. And just so everyone knows, Western will be closed from 9 a.m. till
That's
noon
right.
for the parade. So if you plan to do any business on Western from the college down to 24 during those times, you're not going to be able to.
And we will
Yeah.
not be participating this year in any of the Christmas parades because we're not doing it without Rayford.
Yeah. So
next year,
Mhm.
watch out. We're gonna bring a tank in,
Mhm.
pulling a boat, whatever.
I'll be driving Robin this Saturday in the
Yes.
Christmas parade here.
Well,
But
that sounds
yeah.
like fun.
And I'll probably drive him in the Richlands one now that we're not going to have a float. But we are absolutely not doing. We made the decision we're not doing a live and local float without Rayford, and
That's
Rayford's
right.
not going to be able to do it this year. So next year we'll be back. That gives us a whole year lead to plan an epic
That's
float.
right. It's gonna
So,
be
yeah.
epic
Yeah.
too.
So but I'll see everybody this Saturday when I'll be driving Robin around. So.
Awesome. Christmas parade is always a fun time. I know they telecast it on
They do. It's-
WITN 7.
Mhm, mhm.
And I heard rumors, I'm not really sure, but I do believe WSME is going to be out there broadcasting from the parade also.
Awesome.
So if you can't see it on TV, tune in your radio, or if you're at the parade
Mhm.
and you're sitting in a car watching it, tune in to 97.1 and you'll be able to listen to the,
Yeah.
the entries as they, the parade and the announcements on the entries as they go by. So 97.1.
That's good. So it'll be a good time. Weather should be good. It'll be a little chilly as it always is every, morning. It's always cold. It could be hot every day of the week until that morning. It's always cold getting out
It
there.
is.
But it's
I mean,
okay. But
you're
then it gets warm.
freezing in the morning. Halfway through the parade, you're taking off
Yeah,
layers.
so if you're going to watch the parade, dress appropriately. Bring warm stuff for early in the morning, and right around, I'd say 10:30 in the morning, it's like the heater comes on. So, you don't
It's
be
gonna
out there
be a nice
sweating
day
watching. Yeah,
Saturday
it's going to be a
anyway.
very nice day.
Bring your
And
blankets and your
it's not
lawn
going to be
chairs.
raining. It's going to be sunny. So just bring, your stuff for the morning to stay warm. And then once that sun really starts coming out, you'll be taking the blankets off. But great parade for the kids. There'll be a lot of, it's my understanding, there's a lot of entries, a lot of floats, the local high schools, the military, but just a lot of floats this year. So
And
a
it's the
good thing.
kickoff, the annual kickoff to the holiday season. We have Thanksgiving the week after,
Mhm.
and then all the Black Friday shopping starts.
Heck
and
yeah.
That's Kelly's thing.
Making my
Yeah.
list.
We won't even see Kelly for a week.
Yeah. So
She'll still be in Greensboro shopping.
I'll be up there in Greensboro doing my thing. Yeah. And I want to talk about something too real quick. Yesterday, I don't even remember who we were talking to, but we were talking about turkey shortages. Do you remember that?
Oh, I have an announcement too. Go ahead.
So yesterday at work, we ordered lunch, and we were trying to order from a local restaurant. And two of us wanted turkey and provolone. And on the menu, they didn't have it listed to
Arby's is
order.
doing the same thing.
And so I'm thinking, this turkey short, I need to go to the
Now,
store.
I have an
So-
announcement. I was in Food Line yesterday.
Uh-huh.
They have turkeys for 29 cents a pound with a $35 order. And with their $35 grocery order,
Mhm.
I bought a 23-pound turkey for $6 and some odd cents.
Oh Lord, I gotta go. to
So
Food
you
Line
need to go
today.
buy Food
Robin,
Line
if you're
and
listening,
get your
go for it.
turkey.
No, I'll do it. I don't know. It's okay, Robin.
No,
scratch
he'll
that.
come
Yeah.
back with a Cornish
yeah,
hen.
yeah,
Huh,
no,
don't
no.
send Robin.
No, I got to go get a turkey. My mama's
Right.
already asked me had I gotten it, and I just
Well,
really
I
didn't answer
bought
her.
one yesterday. I'd
Okay.
already bought one
Mhm.
about 3 weeks ago.
Mhm.
That was a butterball,
Mhm.
but it was like $1.18. So I paid about 20 something dollars for it. But I didn't want to take the chance that I wouldn't find a turkey for Thanksgiving.
Heck yeah.
So now I
No,
have
yeah.
Thanksgiving and Christmas covered.
And with they're talking about a turkey shortage anyway, and now that some restaurants don't have it on their menu as as an item,
Right.
I'm getting concerned. I have got to go to the store. So I'm telling everybody, you heard it here first. Do not wait until next week to try to buy your
That's right.
Thanksgiving turkey, because I fear if you do, you will not be eating turkey on Thanksgiving.
You need to go at lunchtime right up the street from where you work.
I'm gonna have to.
That's
Yeah.
where I got mine. Go all the
Okay.
way to the
All right.
back, to the left near the dairy, and
Mhm.
it's in a stand-up freezer
Thank you
there.
for that. I am
There you
going to
go.
go do that today. Yikes.
Hey,
I'm
did
glad
you hear
told me that.
about the bomb threat at Hatteras Yachts yesterday
No.
in Craven County? It was shut down for most of the day. Hundreds of employees were were sent home as police searched the facility for any kind of explosives. They got the call around 7:45 a.m. yesterday morning. Somebody called in a bomb threat. The North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation Bomb Squad concluded later in the afternoon that no suspicious devices were found. So, it's a shame that people have to resort to this kind of silliness.
And Hatteras Yachts. I mean,
Oh,
what are you
really?
mad at your yacht? I mean, come on. That's weird.
It is weird. And then over Sunday night, we had a fatal crash in Wayne County. 4 people died, and it was all because of somebody driving down the wrong side of the road.
Mhm.
And it was young people too. That the crash happened around 10:45 p.m. on the US 70 bypass west of LaGrange and just inside Wayne County. They have the ones that have been deceased. That are deceased have been identified as the driver Trayvon Allen, 21, of Stanwood, Washington State now, and rear passengers Aaron Judd, 17, and Rihanna Jones, 15. Another passenger in the vehicle that was hit survived the crash. But it's sad, sad, sad. You got a car full of teenagers just driving down the road, and here comes somebody from the wrong way.
That is so sad.
It is,
Yeah.
and as we're entering the holiday season now, be careful out there. If you're going to
Mhm.
Christmas parties, remember, don't drink, don't drive.
Correct.
If you're going to drink, have an Uber or a
Mhm.
designated driver for you, because your family doesn't need to be burying you during these holiday times.
No,
Sad.
I agree with that. And I had seen this story. Rayford has talked quite a bit about the U.S. and China
Right.
and the fears he has about China being up to some nefarious things with the United States. And, you'd have to really have your head in the sand to not know that the Chinese government in itself and powerful Chinese corporations have been buying up large areas of the United States.
Yes,
I
we've
mean,
talked about that.
Rayford's talked about it extensively, and this has happened quite a bit. Well, the U.S. Strategic Command Chief has issued what they're calling an extremely ominous warning about China, and he says major conflict with China is coming, and he just flat out did it. He says that the Russia's war with Ukraine is a warm up to a protracted conflict with China for the United States. It's Navy Admiral Charles Richard. He said the U.S. should anticipate and prepare for a protracted conflict with China in the near future. And he thinks one of the triggers for this will be the hostile actions toward Taiwan by Chinese forces. And I mean, this is a big deal. He gave these remarks publicly at the Naval Submarine League's 2022 annual symposium luncheon on November 3rd. And then the DoD, Department of Defense, subsequently published all his talk. And he said he thinks the current war in Ukraine is a prelude to a very long conflict between China and the U.S. And he says with the U.S. level of conventional and nuclear deterrence against the country slowly eroding. And I agree with that. And he said, the Ukraine crisis is a warm up. And, here's the thing. A lot of people have been focused on Ukraine and they've just kind of been ignoring China.
Yes.
But meanwhile, China's quietly doing their thing.
Right.
You remember Rayford talked about the Chinese police operating in New York City
right?
as police officers, and they're not even American citizens. Look, it should scare everyone if we've got foreign nationals coming into our country that are as law enforcement, doing law enforcement activities in our country.
Well, I know some of our representatives, including Congressman Greg Murphy, have sent a letter to the DOJ asking them about these Chinese police officers working in New York City.
Mhm.
I do believe he said that morning he called in on the radio that they didn't really expect to get much out of the letter, but they're wanting to know why. Why are we allowing this? And what's who's allowing this?
Agreed. I mean, a JPD officer cannot go to Switzerland and start doing police activities there.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
correct.
Like you
That's
can't
correct.
go to, I don't know, Bosnia and do that kind of thing. You can't go over to Ireland and do that. So why is it happening here? And is this like a test to see how easy it is to be able to do something like that with no one saying anything about it, which kind of scares me a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, China is a massive economic competitor and a rising military challenge.
Yes.
And to survive and to thrive, the United States must conduct and win an economic war against China
Well,
because they're already waging war against us.
they've been waging war against us. And let me tell you, Admiral Richard made this terrible assessment. I mean, and look, I'm glad he's got the guts to stand up and say it because I know there's a lot of military leaders out there that know, but they just don't say anything. This is what he says. This is a direct quote. As I assess our level of deterrence against China, the ship is slowly sinking. It is sinking slowly, but it is sinking as fundamentally they, meaning China, are putting capability in the field faster than we are. As those curves keep going, it isn't going to matter how good our operating plan is or how good our commanders are or how good our horses are. We're not going to have enough of them. And that is a very near-term problem. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, we do not ever need to be making military budget cuts and shrinking things and this and that.
Oh, I agree. And that's the discussion we got onto a couple of weeks ago, Rayford and I, about the military.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like that we're in a weak
We're
stance
very
right
weakened.
now.
We're making cuts when we should be expanding.
That's right.
We absolutely should. And that's what he's saying. He's like, we're not going to have enough equipment to fight the Chinese.
Right. I mean, we need to strengthen U.S. military so
Yes.
China's deterred
Yeah.
from thinking it could survive, let alone win a military conflict.
And he was talking about how virtually every facet of the military has seen significant overhaul the last
That's
decade
right.
of things. But the problem is, just because we've overhauled it doesn't mean we've beefed it up.
That's right. I mean,
I mean,
Washington has
yeah.
allowed our military to shrink and hollow
Yes.
out to the point that for the first time ever, the annual index of the
Mhm.
U.S. military strength now rates our hard power as weak
Yes.
compared to the mounting global threats. So
It,
we've got to reverse this trend.
we need to do it now. We don't need to do it 3 years
Absolutely.
from
We
now. And
don't
he's
need
already
to
said
wait
we're
until
behind. No, because it's coming. And the problem is, you got to give China credit where credit's due. They've been silently sitting by, just
yes.
doing their thing under our very noses on our own soil, and we have
Well,
done
if
nothing
you think
about it.
about it, we've pretty much helped them out. I mean,
Mhm.
how many things? Once again, you go to the store, you buy a coffee cup, turn it over, made in China.
Mhm.
There's so much there, and we're allowing them to stock our stores,
Mhm.
and we're benefiting them by buying all this merchandise.
I try to buy American as much as I can, trying to find products that are, made in America. And you know what? You may pay a little for them, but I would rather be that than dependent on China because understand, oh, good Lord, if China ever took over us, it would be disastrous. It would be like that movie that I watched, which still bothers me. I think about it from time to time. And when I read stuff like this movie popped into my head. That was I watched it. What I say was earlier this year, where the Chinese took over the United States, and they immediately it became very like socialist. And you had to have food ration
Right,
cards and this and that.
right.
But they put chips in everyone's hand,
Oh
and if
no.
you got close to the border and didn't have quote authorization to be there, you blew up. It was a wild movie, but it was very realistic, and I could see something like that happening.
Well, we've let China
Oh, we have.
undermine our
We
competitiveness
absolutely did. Yeah.
and our
Mhm.
prosperity. So it's time that we start looking at things like that,
Mhm.
and we start finding other ways to, how many things you order online that are manufactured in China? And what do you order online that's actually manufactured in the US of A? I mean,
Yeah.
do we have factories left?
We do.
Most of them were moving to
Mhm.
Mexico a while
Mhm.
back.
And I just had somebody ask me, where'd I hear about that movie at? Believe it or not, it was an active duty client that said, you need to watch this movie because this is a real thing. And I was like, okay. I learn a lot from my active duty clients. They tell me a lot of
Oh,
things.
I'm
Yeah,
sure.
that movie, and I'll try to remember the name of it, and I will let you know, Lee, what it is because you need to watch it. It's very
Yes,
eye opening. Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back and do some weather. We're live in local real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. We'll be right back. And we are back, ready to do some weather.
Yes, we are. And the marine forecast is brought to you by Tideline Marine. Tideline is offering 15% off all baked and I want to say bagel for some reason.
Bagel. Oh,
I don't know. I'm
kids are
hungry.
hungry,
All
yeah.
bait and tackle for veterans and active duty military through today. Today's the last day to take advantage of that special. In addition, through the end of this month, all gift shop lamps are 50% off and all other gift shop items are 20% off. Some other specials this month include a $10 gift card with any tackle package over $50. Need a new reel? Be sure to enter in to the Florida Fishing Reel giveaway. How about $2,000 off an Aqua Sport 2100 center console? To see all the specials going on this month, stop by the Tideline Marine, 159 Bridge Street on the banks of the New River. Today, east winds 15 to 20 knots, becoming southeast with gusts up to 25 knots late. Seas 3 to 5 feet, except 2 to 4 feet near the shore. Tonight, south winds 15 to 20 knots with gusts up to 25 knots, becoming southwest after midnight. Seas 4 to 6 feet, dominant period 5 seconds. Wednesday, northwest winds 15 to 20 knots with gust up to 25 knots, diminishing to 10 to 15 knots in the afternoon. Seas 3 to 5 feet, dominant period to 6 seconds. And on Thursday, northwest winds 15 to 20 knots with gust up to 25 knots, diminishing to 10 to 15 knots in the afternoon. Seas 2 to 4 feet.
Okay, 2 to 4 is not bad, but
Yeah.
0 to 2 would be better. Today, we have rain forecast of high as 68 and winds gusts as high as 15 miles an hour. Tonight, a little more of the same with a low of 52, though. So it's not going to be overly chilly tonight. Still, an 80% chance of rain tonight as well. Tomorrow, partly sunny, high of 61, still gusty. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, low of 41, so it gets a little nippier. And then on Thursday, mostly sunny, a high of 52. So the temperature Thursday and all through the weekend is only going to be in the 50s. Yeah.
As long as the winds
But
aren't
it's
too
going to be
gusty.
sunny.
Yes.
So Friday night's a low of 32, which is why I say it's going to be cold Saturday morning when you first go out to the parade. It's that way every year. Every single year, my hands are frozen at first, and then I'm good to go. But
And what's Friday night? Friday
football.
night football.
Yes, Jacksonville High.
Yep.
So
Triton is
yeah.
going to be at Jacksonville. And of course, that'll be broadcasted live by WSME or our wonderful guys downtown. And so be sure to listen to that 97.1, 1120 a.m. So I don't guess 1120 a.m. It'd be just 97.1, or you can catch it online by going to WSME971.com. So be sure to let's root them on. We've got to win.
Just remember, this is a playoff game. So
Right.
this isn't just a regular game. This is a playoff game. So
And
come
this
out
is
and
our
support the Cardinals.
third game into the playoffs, I believe.
Is it second or third?
Where they played, I think it's a third. I'm not sure. Hey, I'll find out for sure rather than spread misinformation.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, we need to come out and support the Cardinals. I know Rayford will be listening to them. But yeah.
Yes,
So-
we enjoyed that last Friday night, or last Thursday night. The three of us were
Yes.
texting back and forth
Woo,
while listening
getting
to
all
the
kinds
game.
of stressed out. Yeah.
Oh, we were stressed. We
Mhm.
were like, what? Who got
Mhm.
that touchdown? Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
that's us.
Mhm.
It was good. It was good. We
Yeah.
enjoyed doing that and look forward to it again this Friday night, unless I go
Absolutely.
in person.
It's gonna be chilly, but you
It's
go
gonna
right
be
on
cold.
in. Yeah.
Maybe they have heat up in the media booth because I'm gonna sneak up there.
Yeah. You could try that.
Yes.
So, all right. What else is going on? Anything locally,
Oh,
news wise? It's been
anything
kind of
locally.
quiet, I think.
Oh, we have so many Christmas programs coming up. Just like I told you about, the Legacy Theater is doing the Christmas program, and I'm sure a lot of our churches will have to find out. Usually, they'll do the Messiah. God, I can't think this morning. Yeah, usually a lot of the churches will put on special programs. And so we've got all that coming up. We've got Handel's Messiah. That's what I was talking
Okay.
about. Yes. And we've got Christmas Parade Saturday, opens up the Christmas shopping season.
Mhm.
And that's another thing. We need to have somebody from JPD come on and talk about what to do to be safe during the holiday season. If you're shopping and you're buying a lot of merchandise, just don't throw it in your car and leave it
No.
in view.
Mm-mm.
Most cars nowadays, the back windows are, smoke glass.
Mhm.
But I always take a blanket or something with
Mhm.
me. So if I put something, I try to put it on the floorboards and then cover it up with a blanket so it's just not so visible because it just invites people to tamper.
And if you have a trunk, put your stuff in your trunk.
That's
And
right.
don't carry giant purses with you to
Nope.
the store.
Mm-mm.
What do you need? You literally need your car keys and your wallet or your
That's right.
cards.
I carry those crossbody bags
Mhm.
that you can just put that in your
Mhm.
phone and your wallet,
Mhm.
and you carry it across your body, and it's more secure that way. And if you're in a store shopping and you've got a purse that you can't sling up across your body, just don't put it on your shoulder. They can take it off easy.
What do you need out of that
I
purse
know,
in the
really.
store? Like,
Well,
what do you need?
in the
Nothing.
shopping carts, they have ways now when you put them in the shopping cart, they've got the little seat belt for children.
I do
You
that.
can just
Yeah.
weave it right through your purse there, the handles on your purse, and secure it to your cart. So if somebody tries to yank it. But it's amazing. I have been in so many stores and watched women that have their purse sitting up in the top of the cart where the baby sits, wide open,
Open.
not paying a bit of attention to it. And you could walk right by and just take the wallet and keep on going. They would not even know.
No, and I know women that have had that happen to them, and I'm thinking, first of all, why is your thing not zipped? Two, I mean, when I shop, especially at something like Black Friday, we do not. I just don't take a big old purse. It's one, it's something I got to keep up with, but two, no way. There's too many people. Nope. So don't do it. Period.
We got a lot of people commenting on our YouTube about the
Mhm.
Wolverine movie.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that or any of it?
Yes, yeah. Well, they're talking about initially on the original Red Dawn. They called themselves the Wolverines when they
Oh,
came into because they parachuted into Colorado and
okay.
took it over.
All
Yeah,
right.
and I watched that recently. Matter of fact, I like the original better than the new one. But the original one was Patrick Swayze and it had an all-star cast. But that's where the kids fought back and they called themselves the Wolverines.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I missed something in
Mhm.
what we were
No,
discussing.
that's what he's talking about. I knew that's
Okay,
when
I gotcha.
he wrote that because I mentioned about the movie that I watched, and it wasn't that one. This was a new movie. The one I watched it earlier this year, and it has just come out, maybe late last year, earlier this year, and it was very interesting. So I'll have to
Well,
find it.
I found a story right here that I think you will appreciate because it fits right in with your Dumb Crook
Oh
news.
Lord, go for it.
Texas authorities are searching for two suspects who fled the scene of a botched home invasion that left one dead.
Mhm.
The Harris County Sheriff's Office said that just after 11 p.m. on Thursday, multiple suspects dressed in body armor kicked in a door at the residence in Katy, which is located 30 miles outside of Houston. Once they made it into the home for unknown reasons, the suspects began shooting immediately, with one suspect allegedly inadvertently shooting his accomplice. There were 3 residents in the home at the time of the suspected shooting, including the homeowner's 2 adult sons. The sons told KTRK they were trying to go to sleep when they heard banging on their door by people identifying themselves as Houston police officers. The sons went to confront the suspects and were immediately faced with gunfire aimed in their direction. So, like I said, one of the intruders
Mhm.
accidentally shot his partner.
I'm not even
Yeah,
surprised.
the wounded
Bumbling
suspect
boobs.
dropped his
Yeah.
firearm and tried to
Mhm.
flee the scene, according to authorities. One of the sons picked up the drop gun and fatally shot the other suspected home
Good
invader.
for that kid.
See, so that's what you get going into
Yeah.
somebody else's house where you're not welcome.
So I had somebody message me and ask me. So the movie I'm talking about is called Dragon Day.
Dragon Day.
And here's what the little synopsis says. A family getaway to a mountain town turns deadly when China launches a massive cyber attack against the U.S., forcing a former engineer to fight to save his wife and daughter in the New World Order, because it takes place like in Colorado. But according to this I didn't know this because I literally just watched this movie this year. It took place, this movie was filmed in 2013.
Right.
But I'm telling you what, it is a very, very interesting movie. It's called Dragon Day. And like I said, one of my active duty clients is who said, you need to watch this movie.
Yeah, it's on Amazon too.
Mhm.
So if you have Amazon Prime,
Mhm.
it won't cost you anything. I'll have to put
Yeah,
that on my
that's
list to
Amazon
watch.
Prime Video is where I watched it. They told me,
Right.
yeah. It is very, very interesting. So
Sounds
yeah,
interesting.
and
I'll
the
definitely
things
to
they have
watch
to
that.
do, and like the guy, and he talked about in the movie the engineer, because he was an engineer. He talked about how they were tracking people through their phones that were made in China.
There's some other good
Yeah.
movies that I see right now that are on the like that Left Behind, World at War, with Lou Gossett.
Mhm.
Based on a New York Times bestselling novel, the U.S. president, which is played by Lou Gossett Jr., asked a journalist, Kirk Cameron, and his band of rebels to thwart a world leader's deadly plan.
Because that's
Wow.
about the Left Behind series is about Armageddon and the
Yes.
Antichrist.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a lot of entertainment out there for
Yeah.
you.
But I suggest watch Dragon Day. Be enlightened.
Yeah, I'll
Charlie
watch
Hill, I know
that.
you're listening.
Yes.
Watch the movie Dragon Day. It's on
Most
Amazon Prime
definitely.
Video. And let me know what you think when you watch it. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing that this weekend.
and also too, check on your neighbors and stuff now that it's getting the holiday season, especially elderly neighbors, and make sure they have enough food with the rising prices,
That's
especially
right.
elderly families, elderly
Invite
individuals that
them
on fixed
over.
income. Make sure they have food, take them food, do, whatever you have to do during the holiday seasons. But, their budgets are stretched very thin, a lot of them in general anyway. So make sure that
Absolutely.
they aren't, and medicine prices have gone up. I had a client tell me yesterday they had to choose between fixing something in their house and buying their medicine.
That
It's
is
very sad.
sad.
Oh, it breaks my heart.
It
Oh
breaks
my
my
goodness.
heart too.
Sometimes in sessions, it's hard for me to sit there and not cry because you're
Right.
supposed to have a straight face, but it's hard. I love
Well,
my clients, so
I'm
it's
going to
hard.
try to today get the information and get someone to come in and talk about Christmas cheer that started up last week,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then Christmas cheer for the elderly through the social services department. So we'll get all that information on there. Do something nice for somebody this year.
I'm telling you, I've done Christmas cheer quite a few years in the past. My family has, and it's hard. What I have a hard time with is going through the list and choosing the family to adopt,
Right.
because there's so many. Like, you think you got one, you go, oh wait, and you read this other story, and I can't help all the family. I really wish I could, but I can't. But I just can't imagine some child going with no Christmas. It just makes me literally sick to my
sad.
stomach. Yeah, to think about.
And right now we're
Yeah.
all in hard times. So just
We're all in hard
do what you
times, but
can.
do what you can. And a lot of times with Christmas cheer, they put like what they want,
Right.
and they'll say, we need clothes and size this and that. I mean, do what you can. And I just think everybody should have Christmas. Sometimes I've tried to do an elderly person and a local, a family with a small, with children. So Christmas, as you all know, is my favorite holiday. And I just love to do what I can. And I just think I don't want anybody to not being able to experience Christmas. You don't have to spend $1 million.
Here's a public service announcement for the U.S. Postal Service. Remember, when you were putting all those lights on your house and in your yard, take into consideration that the mailman's going to be walking through your yard to deliver a package and not going to see a cord strung across the yard. He's probably going to trip and fall. So let's watch out for our mail people too.
Well, I pay somebody to put them on my house.
Yes.
They'll be doing that.
I used to
this
do
week, I
that
think.
every year, but then before they came out with the LED strings, now, and it always seemed like there would always be one strand that would go out of the many I had on the house. And then I'm out there in the middle of the night trying to fix the one, end up cutting them all off because I didn't want to look stupid having one string out. And then yard ornaments.
I would pay to see that.
I told you about the lit deer that I used to have. Well, not lit, like deer that light up.
Yeah.
In the yard, and I would come out in the morning and they'd be stacked on top of each other.
No.
So it just seemed like I was always being targeted to mess with my Christmas decorations. I quit putting them out because it just made me crazy. I'd get up all night long to look out to see if the deer
now
were
you've
still
got cameras,
grazing.
though. Yeah.
Yes, now I have cameras
That
and
people
lights.
would be
So
seen. Yeah, that's trespassing, and I'd press
so
a charge.
I don't know.
But,
Is anybody out there thinking about putting out outside Christmas decorations?
Well,
They need to give us a
see,
call.
I use one of those local light companies.
Yes.
And I don't have to do nothing. I just pay them money. They
Yeah.
put my lights up. They say, where do you want them? What do you think about this design? Yeah, I added to. Oh, Robin, you were listening. Well, I added to our lights this year. I forgot I didn't tell him.
Hey,
So
do you think he'll notice?
probably not.
Come on, the house is
So
all lit up.
yeah, yeah. So
You walk
anyway,
in the
but
door.
I pay. Look. All I have to do is pay these people money. They put them up,
Then
and
they
they
come
take 'em
take them
down.
down. I might have
I
to check
love
into
it.
that.
And I do my yard stuff though. But I even though I've gotten the inside of my house maybe 45% done on my decorating. The outside of my front porch is for those that complain. It is Thanksgiving themed all the
That's
way,
right.
and I'm not doing my Christmas in my yard until after Thanksgiving. So
Well, I
yeah,
have to shout out to Candy because it was her inspiration that made me already put up my Christmas tree. I was so excited about it because I changed it completely this year.
I did mine a
And
week ago.
oh well, it
Mhm.
makes me happy. So there's that.
I got my living room done, but
Yes.
and my daughter just moved out with her dogs, so now I can do my family room.
Well, there you go.
Heck yeah.
I think I'll start decorating to get the rest of the Christmas stuff out this weekend and start
Oh, I'm
decorating.
gonna have
But
it done by this
I don't
weekend.
know. Now I want to do something in the yard, but I don't know if my nerves can handle it because I know somebody listening is
Yeah,
going
but
to
you've
come.
got cameras, like I
Yeah,
said.
that's true.
And
I
if
have
anybody
cameras
steps
all
foot in
over.
Lee's yard, understand that's
I'll
trespassing,
set
and
out some
that's filing
bonds.
a charge right there. So
Yeah, I mean, I used to love decorating
I
my
loved
yard.
Halloween.
I wish
I love
everybody on the
Christmas.
street
Yeah.
would. There's a street in Wilmington that we used to go every Christmas and go look at and drive down because everybody on the street had lights.
Oh, that's
And
so
it was
cool. I like it when
so
the houses do.
cool.
The guy down the street does his house like a gingerbread house,
Oh,
and people come around. But he's the same guy you should see him at Halloween. It's unreal. But yeah, it looks really, really good. I'll take a picture and show you.
that's nice.
And ELJ Farms has their drive-through lights. And if you did you do that? Have you done that?
No,
Lee?
I didn't.
You're gonna have to come with me. You're riding with me.
Okay, we'll
It
go.
is right here
They
in
have a turning
Jacksonville.
lane now too.
Yep, and it is utterly. I've heard it started, but I need to confirm that with Ed Jones. I will ask him. But it is amazing. And when Mom comes at Christmas, she went last year. I ended up going like 4 times last year. I love
Wow.
that, and you don't have far to go. And you can sit in your
Right.
car. They
It's
do a
right down the
hayride and all
street.
that, but I don't want to get in the hayride and around a bunch of people. I'm riding in my car, just driving through it. The holiday music's playing. They even have snow blowing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
all right, let's take a break. Live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. We'll be right back. We are back, and I am hungry.
I am
and
too.
I need some food. I need some good hot chocolate too. My doctor's not listening right now, so I know I can
That's
say
right.
that. Yeah.
Once in a while, it won't hurt.
We need a sheets. I'm telling y'all, please contact corporate sheets and tell them we need a sheets here.
Oh, yes, we do. And
I've done it, and they try to say we didn't have the population for it. My hometown of Eden, North Carolina, has a sheets.
I
If
meant to
they
say,
have a sheet, come on, we've got like 8 times the population.
I meant
Yeah.
to say something to Commissioner Bright when he called in too, talking about all this stuff that they're getting
Mhm.
ready to renovate and build for the citizens of Onslow County. What about a Top Golf?
We need a
That's
Top
what we
Golf.
need.
Well, I told you I had a friend looking to invest some money, and they were looking into a Top Golf, and I know they're listening right now.
I tell
So,
you, you got
by the
some of these
way,
business people together.
friend, where have you gotten on your Top Golf research? Because I'm all about it.
Right.
I love a Top Golf. We need to go play
Well, ever
again,
since
Lee.
you introduced
I'm
me,
telling you, I turned you into it.
oh
It's
yeah,
awesome.
you and me and my sister. I'll tell
Mhm.
you what, we had a great
It was.
time.
Maybe we'll go in January. Believe it or not, it
Yes.
will. It's not cold if you go. If you don't go late at night.
Right.
Yeah, we'll
That'd
make
be
a
fun.
we'll make a plan.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
We were just talking about different people that put on light shows and stuff. Like Linda's Christmas Lights, they're a nonprofit organization. Their Christmas craft fair starts November 19th, 11 to
Saturday.
3.
Yeah.
And then after that, they will have the drive-through where it started as a simple ride around Surf City trying to find Christmas lights for kids to enjoy. Somehow turned into what you see today. And if you've never been, it's a nice little ride through their area there. It's right off of Highway 17, right as you're leaving Onslow going into Surf City, Pender County. It's right there on the right. You can't miss it. And they have a great display. They put a lot into it. And you can just ride right through it and then go on out. You can give a donation if you would like to, but we'll get some more information on that and let everyone know about it. But I discovered it by accident one time coming back from Hampstead one
I've been
night.
there before. Yeah.
And I was like, what? Well, what is this?
Because we have a tradition every year. My grandson is all about it. Of driving around and looking at all the lights in the neighborhoods, and then when
Yes.
Mom comes at on Christmas Eve, we do it again. And I'm telling you what, I've got some neighbor. I had a client had me make them a list of all the cool neighborhoods
Oh,
to go to,
yes.
so that I've been working on that list for them because I know. I mean, I love doing stuff like we did. I did it
Right.
as a kid. So I want to pass that on to my grandson, and he loves it. Let's go look at lights. Heck yeah, little buddy, let's go.
There's so much that you can do during the holiday season that
free.
really doesn't
I mean,
cost you anything at
I'm
all.
paying for gas, but you know what? I'm spending time with my grandson,
That's right.
and that means more to me than anything in this world.
That's right.
So, all about it. Oh, my friend just messaged me. So, investors, they are $200,000 short of what they need for a Top Golf. And I'm telling you, if you got some money to invest,
Let me call out some people right now. Martin Aragona, where are you
yeah,
at?
just I'm telling you, be rich. They would make so much money just with the amount of military and just I'd keep y'all in business. I ain't even gonna lie. So,
Oh, yes.
but I'm dead serious. This would be an amazing money maker for some investor. So my friend only needs. I mean, they've got quite a substantial amount of cash that they're throwing in, but they're 200,000 short because they have researched this on what they need to bring the franchise here. So, and I think with the Marines alone would keep you in business. Bottom line.
Absolutely. I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, when we met you there and we had the best time. I think I left more at Robin trying to golf than I did anything. I
Yeah.
beat him the first
Yeah,
game.
I know.
He came back to whip me the second.
It's just, I mean, I get so tickled. I start doing terrible. I don't even care. I'm not even good at it, but I just go for it's fun. It is so much
Yes,
fun.
it is.
So yeah, if you've never been to Top Golf, go down to Myrtle Beach. Go. Oh my goodness, you'll love it. You'll get
Yes.
hooked. We have a caller, and I think I know who it is. Steve, is this you?
Yeah, it is.
Hey,
Good morning, ladies. How y'all doing today?
We're good.
We're
How are
doing
you?
good.
Oh, doing good. Just wanted to call in this morning and say hey. I knew Rafe was listening. I want to say hey to him and glad you're doing well.
Thank you.
Yep, he's doing good. Well, hold on then. Just hold on that thought. I just looked at the clock. You know
Yeah.
what that means. So just stay on the line.
Yeah.
Hold on. We'll be right back. All right. We're live and local real talk. I just happened to look up Freedom 97.1, 11:20 a.m. WSME. We'll be right back.
I do that.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah, we're
And
talking
we've got
about.
Steve holding.
Oh, that's right.
Steve's still on there. Yeah.
Sorry, Steve.
I even forgot I was on here. All of a sudden I was like, oh yeah.
We got talking about television shows and movies and just completely
Yeah,
lost.
it's okay.
I'm sorry.
I've got
It's
Lee over here
good to
making a
hear.
list.
It's good to hear from you.
Yeah,
Though.
good to hear from you.
Yeah, I just wanted to call and say hey, and like I say, wish Rayford a good day and a speedy recovery. And but other than that, didn't really have much to talk about. Been listening to y'all, and I'm looking forward to the Christmas lights too.
Yes.
Well, Sirius XM already has their Christmas music channels. I've found them, got them programmed in my car. So I listen when I'm by myself. My daughter won't, when she's in the car with me, won't let me do it. She says it's not Thanksgiving hadn't happened yet. So little does she know, driving back from mom's after Thanksgiving, we're going to be listening to Christmas music all the way back to Jacksonville. I love it. Yeah.
I do too. I listen to Christmas music in July.
I love it.
But I'm kind of a music guy, I guess.
Well, me too. I was a DJ, but also played the piano. I've been playing piano since I was 3. So yeah, I like music. All kinds. I can't say all kinds. There's some I don't like, but yeah. And I have Christmas on my Pandora. The whole Christmas channel. Yeah, love it.
Well, I have to start practicing Christmas songs like around July or August. Start refreshing myself on so when it comes Christmas time, I know a few.
Yeah, you don't want to fumble the words. I get it. Yeah,
but you got some good Christmas songs you can rock out too.
There's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you ladies have a wonderful day, and everybody out there have a blessed day, and God bless America.
Yep. And before
everybody have a good one.
Before we forget, where are you playing this weekend? Because I'm going to one weekend.
I hear you. It's hard to catch me. I didn't play but about 150 times so far this year. But this Friday I'm at a little sports bar on 58 called Rookies Sports Bar. Yep. And then Saturday I'm at a private party.
Oh,
so,
well, okay.
We could be like wedding crashers and crash at private party. Yeah.
They probably wouldn't mind. They're just those kind of folks, you know.
That's great. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, I can't do it this weekend. I'm going to a wedding. So
it's actually a Christmas lighting party that I'm playing at.
Nice.
Yeah, so I guess they do a big Christmas display, but yeah. Nice. All right, ladies. Well, I'll look forward to hearing y'all tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Steve.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
That's pretty cool. If you're going to do, they must, whoever those people are, must do something fancy.
Yeah. What fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I'm just trying to be like Clark Griswold and do my house. But I just don't do it myself. So
I've done that before. When I lived out at Catherine Lake for a short time, I was out there right near Marty's parents, and we used to go out and put these huge trees made of. You just put a huge pole in the yard, and then you run lines down and put lights on it. And we had those all over the yard. We decorated like crazy.
I love it.
It was so much fun.
I just love it. But I don't want my yard to look tacky. You know, I don't like when people put so much stuff in their yard. They just go and buy a bunch of random blow ups and stuff. Now I'm not into that. Like I try to have a theme.
I had
and have my stuff matched.
I had a blow up once. It was a great big NASCAR 48 with Santa.
Why am I not surprised?
I'm surprised I didn't get shot. You know, but anyway.
Yep. So yeah, it's been a good show today. Very glad that Rayford called in.
Yes,
I know he's listening. And Rayford's up there plotting to spring himself out of there. But we've got this under control.
We've got guards down the hall. Don't tell him.
Yeah,
we've got guards down the hall.
Yeah, he was trying to plot his escape yesterday. We're like, oh no, buddy. You know, we got you. So he's got to stay there until they give him the okay.
That's
None of this trying to sneak out of there. Nope.
Yep. That's right. He'll be out soon enough. Hopefully tomorrow. Looks like tomorrow he'll be coming home, and then starts the long process of healing and getting better.
Yeah.
So it was just really wonderful to hear his voice this morning.
Yeah. So we'll just see what happens if he's got to do what he's supposed to do, or he's going to end up in there a couple of extra days. But that's okay. I mean, I don't want them releasing him until they feel he's 100% ready.
Now, look, if it was me, I'd ask them for like a month to 2 month stay. Them feeding me and then making me exercise. Yeah, I could do that. And then after 2 months, I would feel better about going home. Like, okay, I'm good now.
True. Yeah.
They'd have to kick me out.
Yep. I know sometimes it's the only kind of rest you get. So
absolutely.
No, I agree with that. All right. Well, it's time to go. I appreciate everyone listening to us and, letting us ramble on for
That's
the
right.
morning. But we hope everyone has a wonderful day. Just remember, it is going to be kind of rainy today. So use extra caution when you're driving.
That's right.
Please don't
Slow
speed.
down.
Yes, it's, it rain. We don't want any accidents or anything. Just take your time and you'll get there when you get there. And everyone have a wonderful day. We will see you in the morning.
All right.
We're live in local Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.